Would the Minister clarify, Minister for Defense, National Security and Immigration, would you clarify what counter-terrorism measures are in place to address any terrorism and related acts in Fiji? Thank you.
Thank you. I give the floor to the Honourable Minister for Defence, National Security and Immigration.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. Honourable Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Member of Parliament, I rise to answer the question from Honourable Ratiso Tikarai on what counter-terrorism measures are in place to address any terrorism-related acts in Fiji. The National Security and Defence Council, formerly known as the National Security Council, has been meeting regularly to discuss issues of importance to our national security and defence. Combating terrorism has been one of the main issues of discussion during these meetings. In its first meeting conducted in 2015, the Ministry of Defence was tasked with the strengthening of the counter-terrorism efforts, including the legal platform to deter terrorism, right down to our operational capability and capacity. Further to the NSDC, the Counter-Terrorism Official Group, is a group of senior officials from our defense, law and order, and border security agencies formed in 2006, which meets monthly under the Ministry of Defense to exchange information, intelligence, and provide relevant operational expertise in developing responses to the threat of terrorism. For the information of this August House, in 2008, Fiji became one of the only 4 countries to fully ratify United Nations Security Council Resolution 1373, Threats to International Peace and Security Caused by Terrorist Acts, which is the criminalization of terror acts against civil aviation, maritime platform, both fixed and mobile, using of plastic explosive, acts against diplomatically protected persons, and the financing of terror, amongst other protocols. In 2010, the Fijian government endorsed the counter-terrorism strategy, which has provided the overarching strategic and policy guidance for our anti-terror efforts to date. This document is currently being reviewed in line with the ongoing National Security and Defence Review. The legal platform for our counter-terrorism efforts is provided under the Public Order Amendments Decree of 2012, which defines terrorism under Section 2 as the use of violent actions done with the intention of intimidating the public, or a section thereof compelling a government or an international body not to perform an act or to perform an act, and whereby these actions are done with the intention of furthering a political, religious, ideological cause by intimidating the Fijian government or our society. Government has also inserted provision regarding terrorism under Part 3A of the POAD 2012, basically criminalization. The act of terrorism includes the acts of harboring, providing any form of assistance, including the act of providing weapons to terrorists. The Ministry of Defense has developed a draft counter-terrorism plan, which will finalize once the reviewed legislative framework is in place. The finalizing of this plan would ensure that all government stakeholders who are required to combat an act of terrorism or respond to an act of terrorism are fully aware of what is required of them. The Fiji Police Force already has a cell known as the Counter-Terrorism Unit that looks into suspected terrorist activities in the country. However, this unit is restricted by legislative powers in conducting preemptive operations, which hopefully will be addressed by the amendments to the POAD 2012. The Fiji Police Force, including Immigration, Custom and Biosecurity and the Financial Intelligence Unit, are responsible for gathering information and intelligence surrounding suspected terror activities and conducting investigation. The Republic of Fiji Military Forces, in its designated role under the 2013 Constitution, Section 1312 to ensure Fiji's defense and security at all times will provide armed response to acts of terrorism. Fiji at this point of time has a robust mechanism in place to monitor and detect terror financing through the Financial Intelligence Unit placed with the Reserve Bank of Fiji. Regular training of our officers is conducted at all levels in the field of assessing terror threats locally and abroad for all stakeholders involved in our counter-terrorism efforts. Furthermore, Fiji had access to the UN consolidated list under UNSCR 1267. It is the Al-Qaeda and associated individuals and entities, which is regularly updated with insertions of names of suspected and confirmed terrorists or terrorist-related entities, which is provided to our Fiji Intelligence Unit, border security agencies, and police to enter in their respective database for monitoring purposes. Fiji also regularly engages with our strategic partners to receive and share information on suspected terrorists and groups to ensure that this scourge never reaches our shores. However, Madam Speaker, no one country can claim full 100% protection against the threat of terrorism. And we have been seeing terrible effects of terrorism in USA, Australia, the UK, France, India, and Indonesia, to mention a few. These are big governments with the resources and latest technology available to them to detect, deter, and respond to terrorism. This being said, government is doing its best with the resources we have and leveraging our strategic partnership to be fully aware of any pending terror threat that may occur. Madam Speaker, let me conclude by stating that the threat for terrorism in Fiji is currently rated to be low. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Have you considered, or can you inform this House, that on handing over control of our entries and exit points through divestment of shares to your foreign partners, amounting to about 500 million, that's what you're working on, namely the Suba Wharf, Lotoko Wharf, and the International Airport, is a wise decision in terms of the national security of our nation? Or is money so important to you that security of your own people is the last of your words? Thank you.
Point of order.
Madam Speaker, this question has been referred to previously in this House. I understand Honourable Bulitavu had asked this question. He knows. He had mentioned this in the divestment of the shares of AFL, whether biosecurity, etc., would be compromised. And I'm suggesting that it is also a public enterprise question, Madam Speaker, if that could be addressed to the Minister of Public Enterprise, if that is a real question, regarding how the divestment of shares would any way affect the security protocols at these points of entry.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, security is what I know that you do not know.
Excuse me.
I understand that very well.
Please do not point.
Okay, that is, Madam Speaker, is an opening where terrorists would come in if we do not control our entry and exit points. And that is directed to the Minister for Defense. He should answer that. He is deviating from the security issues that controls and keep the people of Fiji safe. So I beg, Madam Speaker, let the Defense Minister answer my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Point of order.
That is a hypothetical question. He is inferring, how can you link the sale of shares to terrorism? That is my point of order, Madam Speaker.
Let me clarify.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just to clarify.
You have.
Because they can't understand. This is supposed to be a security officer that doesn't know.
The onus is on the Honourable Minister. If he wants to answer that question or not, it has been mentioned that question can be diverted to another minister to answer.
We have in place at the moment all our security forces, the police force, the biosecurity and immigration and everybody to monitor the activities of terrorism. That is what we are doing at the moment. But your question is totally different from, you just come up with a hypothetical question of trying to determine that there is a threat, in opening up Fiji for people to come and invest.
I need to clarify this. When you have majority shares in a company, you control. You control. So whatever comes the security, administration, logistics, or raising funds, whatever you do, even the entry and exit points, you control because you own the shares. So if you divest those shares to foreign partners of your foreign partners, they will control that. And most of the decision made in fund, they could control. That's why I'm asking that question. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Maybe security is a forte of the honourable member, but probably commercial realism is not a forte of his. Madam Speaker, the reality is this. In Fiji today, at the moment, there are private companies that are operating that do not have any government shares. Yet they have to abide by the laws of Fiji. The laws take precedence. Statutes take precedence. Statutes take precedence, Madam Speaker. Statutes take precedence, Madam Speaker. Statutes, Madam Speaker, take precedence over any private ownership. And he is also assuming, Madam Speaker, that all this divestment will only go to foreigners. But that's besides the point. The point is, Madam Speaker, the point of order is that he is delving in an area which is digressing from the main substantive question. He is delving in an area of topic in which he is making an assumption of which he has no knowledge about. Just because, Madam Speaker, you have private ownership, you still have requirements by the law. So, for example, just because a company is privately owned, the law says you have to file a tax return. In the same way you have airports operating in Australia that is privately owned, Madam Speaker, where immigration, customs, biosecurity also operate. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Point of order. Just to clarify on what Honorable Tico Vice just said. I think it has been taken in the wrong context by my learned friend, an honorable friend.
May I remind the members that point of order is really on the rules and procedures of the House and not on the issue that is being discussed. What is your point of order?
The point of order, Madam. He has a valid point, Madam Speaker, the honorable member. And the honorable minister has to answer that. It's a relevant question.
Thank you. That's clear.
This is not a point of order.
Thank you. I am relieved that at last we have a supplementary question, and I think all the issues regarding the point of order has been adequately answered and a lot of information shared. We will not delve any further on the issue of that point of order. Supplementary question, I hope, is not related to the point of order.
No, thank you, Madam.
Thank you.
Is the Minister aware of recruiting process by ISIS and Al-Qaeda in Fiji? And if so, can the Minister tell us how many of our locals, young people, have been recruited into this organization?
Thank you. Honourable Minister. Thank you. Point of order.
That's a new question altogether. It's not a supplementary question.
Thank you. I agree that is a totally new question. Thank you. Thank you.
Terrorism.
Thank you. Is that a supplementary question? Supplementary question?
Supplementary question. I thank the honorable minister this morning for explaining the measures that are in place, the assessment, how they are working with other countries in order to identify people who could be terrorists coming into our countries, and they have it's coming there, listen, the counter-terrorism unit within the police and all that. That's good. My question to the honorable minister, when these investors, they come into, say, Investment Fiji, when was the last time the Security Council did a check as a terrorism measure with those investors? When was the last time the National Security Council had a check with Investment Fiji, or whether that check is still being done now, or it has stopped.
Thank you.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Point of order.
Madam Speaker, anything to do with Investment Fiji should be addressed to me.
Thank you.
This is a question not addressed. It's regarding Investment Fiji and whatever the... Madam Speaker, the question involves Investment Fiji and what measures are taken by Investment Fiji when investors come into the country, Madam Speaker. Now that question should be rightfully addressed to me.
Thank you. Order. The Honourable Minister would like to respond.
For every investors who are coming to Fiji, due diligence is conducted. And that also includes if there are any act of terrorism or money laundering or anything like that. We are doing that. Thank you.
Thank you.